now the boat's out of the water, we have a forecast for a beautiful weekend. So it's Friday afternoon, just loading up stuff to take to the boat over the weekend. Well, we keep finding more things that could be useful. We should be right now until tomorrow. Told you it was a lovely day. Karina had the deck people here again, or the builders here again today, looking at replacing the deck and major structural replacement. So it's not going to be cheap, but it needs to be done. Unfortunately, after nearly 50 years, there's been deterioration, and the big problem is a number of the joists are starting to get rotten. Here comes salty old sea dog. All gone from the truck. Yeah, it all seems to be there, apart from all the power tools that are there. Right, we'll need to use the Sawzall. Oh, sorry, we'll need to use the multi-tool on the trim. The easiest thing, rather than trying to take it off. Right, success. So we'll get this stern tank out, hopefully. So it's just about empty. We'll empty it out. Well, I've removed some more screws. That kick panel should now come out. That's out, so now it's just the tank connections. Right, supply from the tank is undone, and we've got to get these, well, I think they're actually a combination of fill and vent. The fill is not actually connected up. We always fill through the inspection ports. Might be food for improvement down the track, but we've got to get them off anyway. Too hard to get to. I will see if we can do it once we've got the tank tilted up. Loose.
Oh, you already ended.
What an effort. Undoing those hoses off the barbs. Okay, all three tanks are out. Mop up a bit of water and we'll put the floor back in. Well, I've removed a little bit of water that was there. Now we need to get rid of this sealant glue or whatever it was supposed to be. Certainly was never going to keep water out from underneath. I started cleaning things up with the multi-tool. There's a mixture of blobs of epoxy and some form of sealant or cork. We're going to have to use the random orbital. At least I've made enough inroads into the cubic metre of booze that I can get the vacuum cleaner out. Well, it's sanding up all right. It's now lunchtime and the day is warming up. Now the sun's out and the heavy dew is evaporating. Well, I'm not wildly optimistic, but I've removed the perimeter caulking from the areas that look suspect, sanded it, cleaned it with alcohol, and also here and a little bit down there. And I only have one tube of the adhesive sealant, so we'll pop it in the electric caulking gun and have a go. Oh, well, fingers crossed.
Yeah. More than you think it costs.
I'm back inside now, it's pretty hot and humid. I'm removing these that were packers under the longitudinal strips holding the tanks in, so we can give the top of the frame a good sand and then re-epoxy all the bits we need to. Oh, that looks better. Giving it a vacuum as well. Oh, this is the current deck fill for the water tanks on this port side. However, it's not actually connected to the deck, and we just fill them through the inspection ports. Then runs across this bay here, which is the only place there's enough space for it, and then joins in with the breathers, fills in the back underneath the galley. I just wonder if there's some way of doing it a bit better. Just looking here, I don't think these are the original tanks, because we've got the ends of a stringer there, another one here, same thing in the next bay, and the same thing up forward. So I think originally there was either tanks or no tanks, and these ones have been made and put in. I'm now on the starboard side. We're going to see if there's any water under the tanks here. So I've got a diaphragm pump, a thin tube to squeeze in under the tanks and into the bucket. I've been pumping water out from under the tanks. Can just get them using a thin tube on a bit of diesel copper line to get it in the corner. Because the tanks are hard up under the floor of the toilet, which is here, and back here the shower, I can't see any way of getting them out without disassembling the inside of the boat, which I'm really not going to do. It's not that these tanks are leaking, it's water that I'm sure got in last year when we were doing the windows, and we just never recognised that it accumulated under the tanks. I was thinking it's a nice afternoon, we'll go walkies. There's a big, I presume, katana. We were parked here one year when it was quite low. We had a river running through all winter, and sail westerly up the bum all the time. Not very pleasant. Lagoon 450, I think she's been sitting there a while. The mast yard's pretty full.
Yes.
Fortunately, we don't need to be there this year. Most of these have been here a long time. They were still developing this side last winter, so there's a lot of boats here now, mostly cats.
Was it silk? It's certainly bright. The ocean.
Well, that's right, you wouldn't be saying mine's the white boat with blue sail covers. It's the bright yellow boat with the black mast. We're getting back close to where we are. This is the rudder on the port side, and it's not looking hopeful. I think we'll have to drop it. At some stage, not right at the moment, we'll scrape the anti-fouling off and just have a look and see what's going on. This is the starboard rudder. It looks fine. Obviously we'll have a closer look at things. And back to the port one. If I just look at this side, it's fine. I've got the heater on low, blowing air down to dry underneath this tank. Certainly won't be leaving it on when we're not here because we turned the power off. But might as well make a start. Well, these are the stringers on top of the water tanks. I'll replace those, epoxy them. So this is the front water tank, and the rim, which was epoxied on or glued on with epoxy or possibly polyester, has come off, but really no big problem to glue it back on again. This one's the after tank, not leaking, and we can see on the bottom it's got a flat sort of wedge in it to account for the hull shape. We'll make a start on sanding the lip of the tank. That's all sanded up easily. Now for the edges around the lid. That's the lid done. Solid old Sea Dog's doing his barnacle scraping. There's an occasional one, but not that many. Well, it's been a lovely afternoon. It's about time to head home. Well, it's a beautiful day, but we're going to go and do Grandad's deck staining. There he is. Grandad off to get more stain. Matthew's just taken over. So he now has a deck that needs to be maintained. So I've done up until now, but I'm going to have a cup of coffee. Well, we are getting there. Well, everything's had one coat. Matthew's on the second coat. It's about to be lunchtime. Just have to cut it over there once it's dried a bit. Oh, and I forgot about this bit here. Right, we have this new bit as well. So Salty Old Sea Dog is clearing the leaves off. I'll put a coat on and then we have to go home because it is Mother's Day. Right, done. Well, most of it's got two coats, so certainly big worthwhile project. Not quite sure when we next have had a good day to do it. And we're leaving Grandad to tidy up. It's certainly been a beautiful weekend.